Do you ever feel like your space needs a change, but you're not sure if it's time for a bold refresh or a total daring makeover? Today, I'm diving into what each involves and how to decide which is right for you. Welcome to the Daring Home Decor podcast. Are you tired of playing it safe with your interior design? Are you overwhelmed with choice and just want simple steps to pull off cohesive and unique decor? I'm your host, Cara Baker, virtual interior designer and bold decor coach. I'll help you get brave, find your style and create a home with pizzazz. So grab your paintbrush, put on those overalls and let's get decorating. Welcome to today's episode. It's great to have you here, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 things to consider when you're deciding on whether to do a room refresh or a room makeover. So what is the difference? Well, a room refresh would involve smaller updates with lower commitment, less upheaval, and wouldn't take lots of time and money. For example, swapping out decor and homeware items like new cushions or pillows, rearranging furniture, or giving the room a fresh coat of paint, or even just a colour block, or adding maybe some new art, or just changing the colour palette of the room by just swapping out a few items. Whereas a room makeover involves bigger changes that may involve even rethinking the layout, buying new furniture, or making structural changes. For example, you might be ripping out furniture, old cabinets. You might be investing in new furniture, maybe some gorgeous statement furniture if you want to get a bit more daring, or it may be redesigning things like the lighting plan. And we'll dig a bit more into the definition of the two in a moment. And can I just say, whichever way you decide to go with this, if you are trying to decide whether to go for a room refresh or a room makeover in a space in your home, I know that you may still feel overwhelmed with actually making a start, because interior options can seem endless and you may be still struggling with what's right for you in your room. If this is the case, I do have a shortcut for you, and it's the exact reason why I created my Digital Decor Kit, to take the pressure off designing your home and making the process more fun. Who's here for some fun? I don't know about you, but life can be way too serious most of the time. So if you've been wanting some help to finally tackle that space you've been thinking about, I invite you to check out a Digital Decor Kit for your home. You can have a plug and play vision for your interior design by way of a custom home colour palette and a mood board, including product links for a room in your home, all to your requirements, style and taste. If that sounds good to you, then I invite you to check out tinyurl.com/decor kit. Okay, let's jump into the 5 things to consider that will let you know whether you need a room refresh or a room makeover. So number 1 is the room condition. Now, if your room is in good condition and everything's in working order, the walls are smooth, the doors and skirting board are maybe fairly new or refurbished and in good condition, then I would say that you were in team refresh. However, if you've got worn and broken items, for example, maybe you've got threadbare carpet or broken furniture, then I would say that you were in team makeover. It's a bit like when you're building a house, you need to look at whether you've already got the strong foundations there or whether you actually need to build the foundations first before building the actual house. So if the foundations are already there and you've got the bones of the room, then you can go for a refresh. But if you actually need to start digging for footings, etc., then you would be team makeover. The second aspect you need to consider is the room functionality. Now, you may be team refresh if your room functions very well for how you live in it. So you never think, the door's opening the wrong way, or the sofa's not facing the TV, or I haven't got enough storage space in my kitchen. If you're not thinking any of those things, if you are thinking this room is a dream when I come in it, everything's comfortable, everything's facing the right way, I've got, a table on hand to put my drink, I've got storage, plenty of storage, for example, in my kitchen to put my groceries away, and the sink and the fridge and the hob are all in perfect positions, then you would be in team refresh. On the other hand, however, if maybe you had an awkward layout in your room, or you've got the wrong sized furniture, maybe you've got a sofa that's just overtaken the whole room, or you've got poor lighting, or maybe you've got some broken items, like you might have a broken radiator, then those kind of flags will probably be telling you that you need to be in team makeover. The third thing to look at is the current style of your room. Now, is it, as I said, the foundations, are they all fine and it's a blank canvas, but you're just feeling bored with the space? Then you would be on team refresh. Maybe you're wanting to add some colour, add some pattern, add some homeware items, add some layers, add some textures. Maybe you want to do this and get more daring with your decor. Well, that would be a refresh of the room, as would be if you wanted to make some seasonable updates. Some people decorate for the spring, for the summer, for the fall, for the autumn, so you may want to swap out some cushions, etc., for those seasons. So once again, that would be a refresh. Or maybe the latest trend. Now, I know I always tell you not to follow trends, but if a trend does come on the scene that you absolutely love, and it wouldn't involve ripping apart the whole room, then yes, by all means, you can add a new trend to your room, and it probably wouldn't involve any massive upheaval, so you could do this without breaking the bank. Now, if you haven't got a blank canvas, but the room is outdated, maybe it no longer reflects your style, maybe you just hate it. I've definitely fallen out of love with rooms in my home. I'm sitting in one now, actually. But yeah, maybe you just think, I absolutely hate everything about it. Then that would put you on team makeover. As would maybe if you've just moved into a new home. Well, it might not be brand new, but you've moved into a new home that somebody else had decorated previously that was just totally not to your style whatsoever, and a refresh just wouldn't do. Then this would be another instance where it would probably be that you need to do a makeover in the room. Or maybe it's new year, new you, and you just want to jump in and you're ready to invest in a total new cohesive vision for your room. And if that is the case, then you may still need a little bit of help and a little bit of hand holding to do that. And you can absolutely get that by snagging one of my digital decor kits. And I will be so excited and happy to help you bring the vision of your room to life. Okay, the fourth thing that you need to take into consideration is the budget. What can you realistically afford to spend? Now, a refresh can consist of a few tester pots that maybe you use to update some furniture, some homeware pieces, just to refresh the space, whereas a makeover can mean things like new flooring, new trim, new light fittings, fully painting and decorating or wallpapering. It can even mean new furniture. So it would be team refresh if you only have a few £100s or dollars, and team makeover if your budget stretches to the high hundreds, and if I'm perfectly honest, probably thousands if you're going for a full-on makeover. So your budget obviously plays a big part in the end decision that you're going to be making. And the fifth thing to consider is time. Are you looking for a quick change or a project that you can commit to for maybe over a period of months? If you only have the odd days or a weekend, then a refresh should probably be on the cards. But if you have a good chunk of time, then you could maybe commit to and carry out a makeover. Your makeover could be, I don't know, made up of a few weekends over 1 month, or maybe you just take the whole week or whole fortnight off work and get it done during that period, or maybe you have to stretch it over a longer period of time. So whichever way that is, obviously a makeover is more of a time commitment for you. And I know that time is something that we're all time poor. If only we all had more time. So whatever you decide, whichever one is right for you, a lot of the time goes into the planning, so I can help you with that. I can reduce the amount of time this is going to take for you. If you're interested in getting a mood board and a colour palette and recommendations, so you haven't got to be scrolling Google. So if time is something you're short of, then that is definitely a place that I can help you there by reducing and shaving some of that off the refresh or makeover, whichever one it is that you're going to be doing. If you're interested in that, you can invest in a digital decor kit. And as always, there's a link to that in the show notes and all my other resources for you. I will just give you a quick recap of the 5 things that you need to consider when you're deciding on whether to do a room refresh or a room makeover. Number 1 is the room condition. Has it got the foundations or does it need ripping apart? Number 2 is the room functionality. Does it work for how you're living it, or is it a nightmare to navigate? Number 3 is the current style of the room. Is it a perfect blank canvas, or is it outdated and you absolutely hate it? Number 4 is your budget. What can you actually afford to spend? And number 5 is how much time do you have? A refresh will obviously take less time than a makeover. Well, I hope this episode has helped you if you are trying to make a decision on how far to go with your decorating. But if you have got any further questions following the episode, then please come along and join my free community. It's a free Facebook group, and you can come on over there and ask any questions that you have about whether to go for a makeover or refresh under the post that I put out for this particular episode. And you can do that every week over from the Facebook group, along with lots of other fun things too. So I'd love to see you over there. And can I also ask if you would do me a quick favour and leave me a review on Apple Podcasts? I'd love to hear from you and for you to let me know what you think of the show. Well, have an amazing week and thank you for joining me. I will see you next Tuesday, where I can't wait to get creative with you in the next episode of the Daring Home Decor podcast. Put down your tester pot for 1 more minute. Come share your wins from this episode by leaving a quick review on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget, you'll find your next bold steps in the show notes. Meanwhile, you can get more interior inspo by joining my free community at facebook.com/groups/Daring Home Decor. And until next week, stay daring.